Anyway, today we're going to be making a beach-inspired soap. And I've got my oils, they were 92 degrees, my goat milk and lye solution is already in here, so we're just going to get this blended up. Alright, so we're at a light trace, which is about what I need this to be, because as with most fragrances I've been using lately, this one has a tendency to accelerate on me just a little bit, not a lot, but just a little much that makes it hard to do swirls and stuff. But we're going to be using a fragrance oil from Rustic Essentials. It's called Beechwood Vetiver, and I've added a little bit of vetiver essential oil to that fragrance oil as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to, I guess we'll add our fragrance oil. I'm going to just blend it in by hand, and then we're going to separate it off into a couple different colors. We're going to do a blue, you know, obviously to represent the water portion, which it's actually my favorite blue mica color that we're using today. One of my favorites. I love all the blues. Blues, greens, which is why you see a lot of them in my soaps. Gray as well, gray and black. I really love too. And that's what our house is, the colors and stuff. But I also like pink. I like vibrant colors. I know it kind of depends on the mood that I'm in, but for the beaches reopening, we wanted to do a beach themed. So I'm going to separate and do some blue. We're going to leave about half in my container that we're going to leave uncolored. I think that looks about right. And then we're going to pour some off as well for an accent color of white, which we're going to swirl. So I may have more blue than I do. There's some blue in here. Alright, get this scraped down. Now this one we're going to leave natural and add some apricot seed powder, or apricot, however you want to say it. That represents kind of the beach layer that's going to be in here. And it has some exfoliation, which is nice, kind of after you go to the beach, to use this one to get the sand off and anything else that could be in there, which is one of the reasons why I personally do not like going to the beach, at least not to get in the water. I like to look at it, but I'm not a Florida resident really solely by choice. I moved here when I was 15 with my parents, obviously. We moved away for 5 years, which were, like my kids say, the way their favorite and the best time they ever had was when we were living in Tennessee. But we moved back here to Florida for work and family. But for the first time in my life, I've actually been glad that we live in Florida, because the warmer temperatures that we've had have been a blessing for this virus and for things to get back open sooner. Although we did have a very mild winter, which is odd for Florida. I don't know if it was because of the people not traveling or what was going on, but it was very nice. It's finally heated up, and today it's about the same temperature as it's about 90 something degrees today in May, which is not unusual, but usually we would have had that a lot earlier, and it stayed cool for quite a long time this year. We still had some like 40 and 50 degree days in May in the morning, not all day, but you know, overnight. That was really nice for doing chores, and the humidity was extremely low. I don't know if I've ever seen it as low as it was. It was only in the like 20s and 30%, which is definitely not something that is typical. there, waste not, want not. All right, and the white I'm going to wait a little bit, and we'll add the titanium dioxide right when I'm going to be kneading it. Well, what was my first layer? It's actually the blue with white, so we need it now. So we're just going to add a little bit of titanium dioxide to this one. Oops. Did I make a mess? See, this one thickens up on me. So to get it white, I'm really going to have to blend it with a stick blender. Not the optimum for this, how it's set up, but we'll do it anyway. Needs must. And it needs some more titanium dioxide as well. As good as we're going to get that one without having to stick blend it till it's like cement. Alright, so I'm going to pull my mold over here after I get this cleaned off. And we'll do our blue layer. I was going to do it in the pot swirl, but it's thickened up so much I'm going to do it in the mold instead. We're going to do a little bit because we're going to do another layer on top of this one. Of the blue and white. Let's pull this out. I want it to be kind of a textured layer, so not of like really straight layers. I want them to be wavy. So that looks good. And then since we're doing that, we're not going to really, this isn't going to necessarily need to be really fluid either, which it isn't. Definitely isn't. And this will be the only layer of this one, so we're going to get all of this in here. I just have to leave enough room for the little blue and white layer that we're going to have on here. And it's going to work out nicely with the layers because the texture is going to be bang on what I was searching for, which is why I decided to go that way with this one, knowing that it kind of has a tendency to thicken up on me. All right, so our blue layer again. And I wanted to kind of try to, I needed it to be just a little bit more workable than it is right now for what I had envisioned for the top, but we'll go with it. It'll look good anyway. The best laid plans, right? Am I saying that? Alright, so let me get that kind of textured in there, and then we'll put the white on. This layer I wanted to be a little bit more, less swirled. Kind of look something like the white caps on the water, on the waves. Sorry about that, having it at the wrong angle here. You know, needs must when you're trying to get stuff in the mold. Things kind of, plans go out the window when you're trying to get it in here before it gets so hard that you can't get it in there. Hopefully I left enough that I can get all the way down so I can spread this out. Oopsie. Which it looks like I did, so cool. All right, so the beaches are open here in Florida, which is one of the biggest things that we have to do. I know a lot of places are still not open. We were finally able to get my son's haircut the other day, which was a blessing because he has really curly hair and he likes to keep it long, but it was getting exceptionally long. And he goes to where he works, they actually require you to have like a certain length of hair, so it was getting way above and beyond what he was allowed to have. But of course they were, you know, there was grace given circumstances. Obviously they knew nobody was able to go get their hair cut. Thankfully I cut my own, and I cut my daughter's, and I cut my husband's, but his I can't do. For myself, it's easy because I have curly hair. My daughters, they're easy as well. They pretty much just have straight hair with a few layers. But him, no. He has complicated because he's got the curls, and he has more of a style than anybody else in the house. And my husband, I just use clippers. So I know how to do that. I've been doing that a long time. Cutting his hair. It was a necessity when we lived in Tennessee because we couldn't afford, and it's been a necessity. It's just one of those things you can do to save money if you know how to do it. All right, so I'm gonna use my spoon and kind of pull up so you can see the blue. Kind of make some waves, wave action. Alright, this is the wave look we were going for, and my skewer here to kind of knock down these sides a little bit and pull them down and around. And then I'm going to take, I have some poppy seeds from Crafter's Choice, and we're going to just put those right in the middle here. Not too many, because these can be way too exfoliating for some people, especially. So just a tiny little bit of the poppy seeds on the top. Kind of reminds me of some beaches where they have like the lava rock, darker sand, and where we live in Florida, they're mostly white sand beaches, so you don't really see anything like that, but not all the beaches are in Florida, are they? All right, so that is this one. We will be back in 18 to 24 hours and see how it looks on the inside. All right, so we're back and we're going to see what our reopening of the Pensacola or Escambia County and Santa Rosa County, Florida beaches inspired soap looks like on the inside. I was kind of excited about this one because I really like the, I really was kind of interested to see how that texturing of the between the layers was going to come out, and I think it looks pretty darn awesome. But my bar is the way. Somebody's going to get a really generous bar. That one was way too big. All right, that's better. Guess I need to check that stuff before I go starting cutting, huh? All right, anyway. So to me, I think it really kind of resembles waves on the beach with the white caps. The big waves get, or even little waves have the white foamy stuff. And I love the texture of the apricot seed powder inside. It really does resemble sand quite well. So I hope that everyone is still weathering their quarantine well. I know there's a lot of states like Florida that are opening back up and allowing businesses to get back to work, and or people to get back to work and businesses to open so people can work. And we've been very thankful for having the hair salons back open so we could get my son's hair cut. But otherwise, we really haven't changed too much about what we, places we shop were considered essential. You know, we go to the grocery and the feed store, and that's pretty much it. And, you know, the hardware stores, if we need things to, like we have needed for fixing things after the tornado and building stuff for our homestead and for the goats and the chickens and all that. So we're not ones to generally go do, you know, just retail therapy, because I really hate to shop. Although I do try to buy as much locally as I can and avoid the big box stores, which a lot of those have been closed. So we are grateful that those are able to be open again. But I hope that everybody is weathering the storm of the coronavirus well. Everybody has stayed healthy. It's getting nice and warm now, almost everywhere in the country. So hopefully that will help. And if everybody does what they can, stays home when they're sick, eats well, watches their diet, and tries to, you know, encourage their immune system, vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, especially evidently vitamin D and zinc and vitamin C are very important to fight off the C word, well, both words, coronavirus and cancer. Having a healthy immune system is great for both of those, for preventing both of those. All right, that one looks really cool. Really love the swirls in the bottom of that one and the top. Not exactly the design that I had planned, but actually I think it came out pretty darn close, so I'm excited about that one. Please, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more, you can hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified every time we have a new video, which we should have them at least once a week, if not more, on soap making and on our homestead. So we do appreciate everybody for watching, and we hope that you have a very blessed day and that you stay healthy and well.